Testing. Alright, hello and welcome to the SIHL pregame show. Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Vancouver Vikings and the Seattle Stingrays. I said Sasquatch earlier, yet we're not, no. Doing the Sasquatch, the Seattle Stingrays. Tomorrow is the Alaska Aces game. I mixed them, I swapped them. And it's in Alaska. Tomorrow night's gonna be the first Alaska home game, and they are late. 11:05 p.m. Eastern time. That's when they start. All right, here we go. The Seattle Sasquatch. How many times am I gonna say Sasquatch? It's not baseball. This is hockey. Seattle Stingrays and the Vancouver Vikings. So you are listening to the SIHL pregame show on the SIHL CVN Radio Network. So this one I'm archiving them, just audio only. Those ones will be posted for the public on the SIHL Radio Network YouTube channel, which is the one I just launched. I post one short and I've archived a game. So that's cool. This one will be archived as well. So Seattle Stingrays and the Vancouver Vikings well, the first pitch will be, puck drop will be at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, so take a look at the Seattle Stingrays. They got one win so far, and because the in-game caller says this happened over a week ago, but that's not how, we don't follow that. So, their most recent one was, their opening game at home against the San Diego Sharpshooters. They beat them by a final score of 3-1. So, how about that? So, that's a good... So, the Seattle Stingrays started on a good note, and the second game of their opening game, 2-game homestand, that will be against the Vancouver Vikings, the game we're covering tonight, the second of a doubleheader. So, Seattle Stingrays, Vancouver Vikings. Vancouver's played 2. This is the second game for Seattle. This is game 3 for the Vancouver Vikings. So then we take a look at the Vancouver Vikings record. Yep, so right here, so the Vancouver Vikings also played the San Diego Sharpshooters twice. They played them twice. So that's an interesting storyline there. So they also beat San Diego 6-1 the very next day. And then the day after, the second game of the back-to-back, they lost 6-2. Interesting. That's odd. How to go from scoring 6 to giving up 6. That's really strange. The Stingrays, I don't know what's gonna happen. I genuinely have no clue. So Alex LaFerriere. Yeah, one thing I want to cover is player injuries. Yeah, we got quite a few. We have Seamus Casey. For Vancouver, Alexi Lafreniere, he's going to be out. So he's out for the game we're covering. Vancouver, and Justin Kirkland out for a week. Brandon Cove out for a month. Elias Lindholm's going to be out for half the season. Ooh, that's not good for the Toronto Titans. That's not good. That is not good. 3 months. And the Australian defenseman Sean Walker injured day to day. Yeah, but yeah, Toronto is. I don't want to say I don't want to cuss, but yeah, I'm not going to. Toronto is. They are going down a very dark path. Toronto, oh man, they're going to be bad. They're going to be really bad. They are going to be bad. But, again, I mean, we probably won't cover them much, because they're 0-3 and they've given up 18 goals in 2 games. So, well, 18 goals in 3 games. So, I think just we're going to focus on the rest of the league. But again, moving on to Seattle. Seattle's house squad share the Vancouver Vikings. And let's take a look. Let's take a look at the division. Let's take. Yeah, here it is. It says North, but it is the West Coast division. Yeah, the Gladiators on top right now. 4 points with back-to-back wins in the only 2 games they played. Aces 2-2. Stingrays are just ahead of the Vikings. Well, they're tied with the Vikings, but so yeah, these teams are tied. They're tied because they both won a game. So they're tied by that metric. Just the only difference is the only reason the Vikings are down is because they've lost a game. Seattle has won a game. So if Seattle wins, they go 2-0. Meanwhile, Vancouver goes 1-2. But if Vancouver wins, they go 2-1. While Seattle takes their current record 1-1. Or 1-0 if you add the 0. There we go. So, sorry, yeah, you kind of missed the pregame show. Sorry about that, but... Yeah, I think what I'll do for the... I'll just go right to where the game starts. Oh, so the broadcast won't have a pregame show. The radio one. The archive, I should say. Not gonna have a pregame show. Pregame show's only gonna be on Twitch. It's fine. I don't care. If you're on Twitch, I guess you get it, but... The pregame show doesn't really matter that much. We'll take a quick look at the starting lineups once again. Okay, since you missed it. So, it's really all you need. It's gonna be a fun matchup. Two teams, they are, in points, they're tied. Just, Vancouver played one more game and they lost. So, Philip Grubauer is starting goaltender for the Seattle Stingrays. And we go over to the Vancouver Vikings. And Jake Gottinger will be your starting goaltender for the Vancouver Vikings. Did he play both games? Yeah, he did. So I'll play a third one. Yeah, he's definitely he's the main starter on this Vikings team. That is the one thing. If he goes, you got Ivan Fedotov. One thing. The thing. If anything happens to him, there's probably not enough goaltenders to go around in this league. I think like 3 or 4 teams with 3 goaltenders. It's not a lot. 3 or more. But, so, taking a look at your starting lineup for the Vancouver Vikings, as pointed out earlier. And then for the defense, I'll show it for the radio. You got Doc Malkin on that top line, Denisenko, Horvat, Kako. The second line, third line will be Tyler Mountain, Christian Dvorak, LaFerriere, Seth Griffith, Joshua Roy, Zach McEwen on that bottom line there. For your defense for the radio people, that's what I'm repeating. Got Quinn Hughes, Matt Dumba, Marco Scandella, Michael Kesselring, Jordan Harris, and Erica Branson. And then for Seattle, we'll go over them one more time. You got Kyle Connor, Will Burrows, Matthew Joseph on the top line, Stam Steele, Brock Nelson, Brennan Galler on the second line. Third line will be Clint Costin, Chase DeLeo, Craig Smith, Ryan Lomberg, Matthew Pekka, and Anders Bjork. And for the Seattle defense, Owen Power, Sam Martin, Nick Letty, Connor Clifton, Travis Dermott, and Caden Korzak are your defensive pairs. Owen Power, Sam Martin, Nick Letty, Clifton. That's Owen Power, Martin, your first. Letty and Clifton are your second. Dermott and Korzak are your third. And then taking a look at the starting goaltender will be Philip Grubauer. And it is time to get underway here on the SIHL TV and radio network. So that has been the pregame show. Enjoy the game. What does their ults look like? Those are good. Yeah, it does have good jerseys, I will say that. No. Oh, their new alternate is so good. The Retro V. Alright, enjoy the game. The Seattle Stingrays and the Vancouver Vikings sit back and I shouldn't use my whole stick now. Seattle Stingrays and the Vancouver Vikings, here we go. Enjoy the game. Hello and welcome to Game 2 of this doubleheader. It'll be the Seattle Stingrays and the Vancouver Vikings. Will Burrows getting off of the face-off. And puck is dropped. We are underway at 7:45. And here's Owen Power over the blue line. We are underway down low in the corner. And now it's started immediately by the Vancouver Vikings. It's Evgeny Malkin, their superstar. Michael Bunting on the left side. And the Vancouver Vikings in the road whites with the orange pants and the black stripes. And the Seattle Stingrays in their home teal and black jerseys with the black stripes and the Seattle Stingrays logo on the front of the logo, on the front of the jersey. Beautiful logo, brown mainly in blue, the teal and black. Shouldn't say blue. Here's Malkin able to move on in over top of the goal. That one behind the goal, scooped up by Owen Power down low there. Shouldn't be just Owen Power able to drop it open, or Matthew Joseph battling along the wall there. Matthew Joseph pinned against the wall by Malkin. Malkin able to recover, but there is a penalty on the way. It's a cross-checking against Michael Bunting. for the Vancouver Vikings. So bunting there, looks to be a slash. Yeah, there's a cross check on the back of the Seattle Stingrays forward of some kind. I didn't see the number there. So he's going off for cross checking, and the Stingrays going to the power play. Sam Steele, Christian Dvorak. On the face-off lane, Marco Scantillo's there. For the Vikings, able to get it out of the zone, but Smith able to knock it down. Able to find Clifton right at the center ice circle. Two Seattle Stingray logos in the center ice circle, by the way. If you're listening on the radio, he's Gallagher on the back end, able to move to the front with a shot there and a save. Jake Andre able to hold on for the whistle. 1:40 to go on the power play. Sam Steele, Christian Dvorak, the faceoff. To the right of Jake Ottinger off the faceoff. Eric Branson for the Vancouver Vikings able to find Christian Dvorak. Vancouver Vikings last year went all the way to the conference final before being eliminated by the eventual Pedro Cup winners, the Alaska Aces. Here's Matthew Joseph able to move top of the left circle right to the front with a shot there. Save down low with Sam Steele. Back up high over to Smith able to rip one from the blue line in the save. So Branson back on the near side for the Vikings. And that one's gloved down. The Vikings regain control anyway and clear it down the ice with 1:02 to go on the Stingrays power play. All the way down behind the Seattle goal line. And the Vancouver Vikings. Dvorak in the slot. Scandella moving in with a shot and a save at the pad by Philip Grubauer. Here's Sam Steele. The pass over to Brandon Gallagher. Along the left wing in the middle is Connor Clifton in the slot with a shot and a save of the pad of Ottinger. Burrows right to the front. Couldn't get a shot off. Ottinger steals it and holds right there for a whistle. We'll have a face-off with 16:24 to go in the first. 3 shots for the Stingrays so far, just 1 for the Vikings. Will Burrows and Josh Roy with Alex LaFerriere on that left wing for the penalty killing line. Shot there, goal save. Jake Ottinger will hold on for he won't hold on for the whistle. Handed to his teammate for the Vikings. Out to center they go. Down the ice it goes. It goes behind the Seattle goal line. Scooped up just outside the trapezoid by Sam Martin. Dumps it back around behind. Owen Power just scoop up the dump it. Well, I shouldn't say dump in. Here's Brock Nelson through center over the red line. Which has little stars on it. Nelson right to the front with a shot there and a save. Backhand tried to get a rebound but was not able to do so. Will Burrows and Bo Horvat for the face-off. With left of Jake Ottinger in the Vancouver zone, won by the Vikings. Quinn Hughes over to Matt Dumba. Quinn Hughes used to be a Vancouver Canuck and got traded to Minnesota while in the National Hockey League. Matthew Joseph able to get out to the neutral zone with Kyle Connor. Then Dick gets around one Vancouver defender back to Burrows in the middle, but he lost control to Capo Kako. Will Burrows able to regain control from Kako. Goes back up high for Sam Martin, top of the left circle. Burrows moving in on the backhand with a shot there and a save. Along the boards, Vikings looking to get it out. They do, but they end up turning it over in the process. Here is Owen Power back along the right wing. Burrows the drop-off feed. Over to Connor there with a shot and a save by Jake Ottinger from the slot. Glad to have you tuning in here on a Sunday night for Game 2 of a doubleheader. 13:59 to go in the first. 7 shots for the Stingers. Just 1 shot so far for the Vancouver Vikings, indicating they've had a lack of real possession in this game. Shot there and a save from the top of the left circle. And that one's kicked out to center ice towards Ryan Lomberg. And Bunting takes the interception on the cross-ice pass at center. Moves on in. Lomberg able to steal it away. Ryan Lomberg for the Stingrays. He took a hit, but he feeds it over to Anders Bjork. Moving in the high slot. Nice pass. Matthew Pekka with a shot and a save. Scooped up by Pekka once again on the backhand. Tried to get a rebound. That one maybe deflected off the blocker. And it goes to the corner. Back up high. Nick Lee able to take a slap shot and a save. Jake Ottinger holding off with a whistle. Only 12:35 to go in the first period. So a big hit on Ryan Lomberg earlier on in the game. Vinny Malkin and Matthew Pekka taking the face off. Bottom forward out there. Also, we're back to even strength. We've been so for a bit. Here's Nick Leddy. High slot Peck on the backhand. Towards the front. Back up high for Connor Clifton. York on the high slot with a shot and a save. Scooped up by Gabrinson, spinning around to find Kirby Doc. They're along the right side of the ice for the Vikings moving in. And in the slot, Malka with a shot. And a save on the right pad of Philip Grubauer behind the goal. A bit of a battle there. And getting Malka on his back end. Mont right in front of the net and a save. And Grubauer able to hold on for the whistle. Brock Nelson, Christian Dvorak, the face-off. To Philip Grubauer's right, and Seattle able to win it around their own zone. Connor Clifton over to Nicoletti. And out to the neutral zone, Nicoletti goes. With a bit of speed and a bit of space. Just enough space for a shot near side and a save. LaFerriere gets it back out to center with Christian Dvorak. Along the right wing. Delamont between the circles. And it was poked away. And the Stingrays take control. Gallagher back in the offensive zone with Sam Steele right to the front with a shot. In the slot and a save. Harris is there. And some hits behind the play. Connor Clifton gets it back for the Stingrays at center. Able to move on in is Sam Steele. And the Vikings will get control here. Seth Griffith. He's knocked off by Brendan Gallagher. Trying to find a teammate, but ended up turning it right back over to the Vikings in the process. Zach Cohen entering on his forehand. Nice drop off Griffith right to the front of the zone. And a save there by Philip Grubauer. Seattle Stingrays. Let's see Kyle Connor holds on to it with a shot. Save with the blocker down to the near side. Kyle Connor retrieves it. On his backhand, Connor again. The shot was blocked here. And Joshua Roy picks it up and takes over. He lost control, so we'll go back to retrieve it. It successfully does. The backhand, he's knocked off the puck. The loose puck scooped up by the Seattle Stingrays' Matthew Joseph. And he's hit behind the play. Here's Sam Martin back over the blue line into the Viking zone. Top of the left circle. Throws a nice fade, but he can't get much of a pass off. Connor retrieves it behind the goal. Matthew Joseph, bottom of the circle, try to get a pass right to the front of the net, but it's intercepted. Then a single over to Capo Caco. So the Vancouver Vikings here, just 4 shots in the period, not really having a lot of possession time. And it's been a struggle for them. Here's Owen Power, able to move into the offensive zone. To feed over to Kyle Connor. High slot. Right in the middle with a shot save at the pad. Back on the near side boards is Gregory Denisenko. And gets it out to center ice. The feed over to Bo Horvat right through the middle. Puts across to the near side. Try to go back to the middle, but Sam Martin is there to steal it away for the Seattle Stingrays. Matthew Joseph moving on in. The feed over there. And a save as the puck bounced off. At the top of the right pad of Jake Ottinger. So face off to Ottinger's right. Currently don't have a live radio broadcast, so it will just be an archive that is posted on the SIHL Radio Network YouTube channel. Smith on the backhand. Already posted the first one earlier today. Dumba right through center. A bit of a toe drag. Trying to get around these 2 Seattle defensemen. Nicoletti, being one of them, takes it away. And they go back down the ice once again. Here's Smith over the line. Down low. Smith back again with a shot and a save. Jake Ottinger holding off with the whistle. There was a hit there during the play. Sometimes I don't get too excited for them because hits do happen a lot in hockey. There's 4 shots for the Vikings to this point. 5-0-3. No face off to Ottinger. Left one, but the Stingrays in the offensive zone with a shot there. Save with the goalie stick as Ottinger sticks to the side. And the Stingrays have it again, trying to pressure offensively in the Viking zone. Smith is there, whipped on the shot. Over the front is Nicoletti, I believe. And too many guys in the way, and the Vikings retain control. Bunting from Evgeny Malk at the pass. Bunting enters, but Nicoletti able to steal it away. As here is from Costin the feed. Costin trying to do some digs. Rips one, save! From Costin. Back up high over to Nicoletti. Over to Costin with a shot there and a save. Rebound! Missed the net! Shot out of panic there, and then it was... Which, I mean, sometimes you have to, but I feel like you could take an extra second to get an accurate shot. Shot there and a save in the Seattle zone. Grubauer able to hold on for the whistle. We'll have another face-off. So the Seattle Stingrays... I mean, that name So I'm just gonna keep talking just to bridge it. And we're gonna do a quick test upcoming. Testing. There we go. Alright, so we are good. SIHL Stingrays in the Vancouver Vikings. Let's get right back to it. Pop shot there, went off the body. And we're just gonna pretend like nothing happened. Here's Gregory didn't SIHL, able to get over there to Capo Caco, the red line in the neutral zone. Denzel is there, took it away. You're burning it. Gallagher, excuse me. Out there and a save down on the corner of Sam Martin, able to get it over there. Right to the front, trickles in, they score! Capo Caco! Right in front of the net, his second goal this season for the Vancouver Vikings, and it's 1-0. I guess we're not going to have a replay for some reason. Second goal this season for Capo Caco, and it's 1-0 Vikings. Going to able to move on in right to the front. Nice lot, and a shot down on the corner, scooped up by Brock Nelson. There is Brendan Gallagher for the Vancouver Vikings. A hit behind the play. Gallagher moving on in with Sam Steele, top of the left circle. Out there and trickles in, score! They answer back! And the game is tied at 1. Sam Steele ties the game for the Seattle Stingrays. Just move right back down the other way. First shot and just squeaks past Jake Ottinger to tie the game at 1. See, there he is. He moves. It's right in the middle of the circle, too. He doesn't have the best lane either. Just hit the shot the goaltender. Usually would have been saved probably 8, 9, 10 other times, but out of 10. But this one trickles in past Jake Ottinger to tie the game. So we're tied 1 apiece. Will Burrows and Bo Horvat with 57 seconds remaining in the first period. As well, here's Ganasenko with under a minute to go. Ganasenko top of the left circle. Trying to find myself saying, I need to see something to work on still with my broadcasting. 32.9 seconds remaining in the first. The game is tied 1 apiece now. I don't think we're going to have any goals in here. Then 2 back-to-back for both teams. Just like that. So Wilbur's taking the face-off on that top line for the Stingrays. And he wins it. Dog onto the feet over to Wilbur. Able to move right on in. Shot there on a goal save. Jake Ottinger. So the Seattle Stingrays do have one more chance here in the first period again. Another one behind Jake Ottinger, but they lose the face-off. Harris able to get out to center. Capo Caco, maybe one more shot for the Vikings. Capo Caco over the line, rips one, goal save. Philip Gerbauer, and we'll have a face-off with just 1.5 seconds remaining in the first. Will Burrows and Christian Dvorak face 2 centers. Will Burrows, a face-off. The Branson, and there's no shot. So that ends the first period. The game is tied 1 apiece. Capo Caco and the Kraken then answered back. The game started at 1. You were listening to the SIHL TV on the radio network. So Sam Steele, the tying goal for the Seattle Stingrays. Once again, you're listening to the SIHL TV and radio network. Capo Caco, the tying goal. This is the SIHL intermission show. Caco, he scored first, just trickled through. And then Sam Steele, less than a minute later, responds. He had 2 shots so far in this game, just in the first period alone. As that's all we've played so far. So pretty, not particularly a close game, but I'm really surprised the Vikings scored first. They just really got lucky, as they have only had 8 shots on goal. Seattle's had 24. That should tell you something. I will take a quick break to cough. I'll be right back in a second. We're back. Just need to get that out of me. So, Seattle Sasquatch. So the Seattle Sasquatch, 20 hits, 23 hits from Vancouver. Vancouver was still doing good on the body checking. Seattle had more possession time. They won less. Vancouver won more faceoffs than Seattle. 9 faceoff won for the Vancouver Vikings. 7 faceoffs won for the Seattle Stingrays. I want to say Sasquatch, but I made that my baseball league. So, 1 power play for the Seattle Stingrays. They do not score on it. No power plays for the Vikings just yet, but we will see. that's been the intermission. And again, you're listening to the SIHL TV and radio network. You're going to the second period. Sit back and relax and enjoy some hockey. Alright, here we are, period 2, the Seattle Stingrays and the Vancouver Vikings. And for period 2. Roberto's against Evgeny Malkin for the face-off. Vikings in possession to start off. Michael Bunting in the line. In the left wing circle there is Matthew Joseph. He did take it away from Seattle, able to move on it. And then good pass over to Kyle Connor. With a nice shot, but an easy save. Jake Ottinger to start the second period. So, glad to have you tuning in on a Sunday night for some Sunday night hockey. Much earlier than the usual hockey season. It's still August, folks. Overall's out the face-off win over to Owen Power. There's Sam Martin. Another shot off the mask of Jake Ottinger. And he was behind the goal for the Vikings of his own zone. Pass off the boards over to his teammate Evgeny Malkin. Malkin, good pass over to Michael Bunting in the slot. Too many sticks in the way. Shot there right front, almost shoving it towards the net was Malkin, with a save by Philip Grubauer. Burrows against Evgeny Malkin off the face-off win is Sam Martin. Kyle Connor and the Seattle Stingrays go up the ice. Now in puck Lake when he's back on the near boards. Here is Michael Bunting. Able to get to center ice. Michael Bunting. Short feed to Doc with a shot right to the middle and a save there. Goes to the near corner and Joseph digs it out to center and goes all the way to the neutral zone over the line with a shot there and a glove save by Jake Ottinger in the Vikings zone. Brock Nelson, Bo Horvat, the face-off. On the face-off win, Michael Kesselring able to get it over to Bo Horvat along the left wing wall. Bo Horvat running into some defense with Denisenko. Denisenko with the puck and a shot and a glove save. Philip Grubauer once again. So, second line out there for both Seattle and Vancouver. Off the face-off win, the Vikings win it in Seattle territory. Kesselring, a weak shot towards the goal. And Grubauer able to glove it there and hold on. So we'll have another face-off. Glad to have you tuning in. Brock Nelson and Bo Horvat. The face-off win is Michael Kesselring down low. Here's Capo Caco. Caco right to the front with a shot there. That one was over top of the goal. Scooped up by Brock Nelson. Back of the nearest. Alright, is Nick Maletti. Over to Sam Steele. Left wing circle. Moving on his backhand down low. Running alley back up high. Nick Leddy. Nelson on the backhand. He shoots in the save. Back to the far side it goes. Sam Steele is there. There's a hit on, I believe, Sam Steele. He's able to get up and he's fine, but he gets off for a change. Stingrays on a line change currently. Connor Clifton deep in the zone. They get out to center ice. Get some fresh guys out there. From Custom in the neutral zone. Drops it off for Nick Leddy. Seattle continuing to change. As now they enter the offensive zone with a shot. Turned aside. Chase DeLeo. Smith. Korzak. Seattle still changing. And there's Michael Kesselring in the corner of his own zone with Denisenko, and the Vikings finally get out to center ice. Top of the circle there is Chase DeLeo. Vikings on the line change. Nice feed off the boards over to Smith. Able to move on in on the backhand. Smith able to spin around, but Dumba shuts that down instantly for the Vikings. Vikings stuck in their own zone trying to get out, but Seattle's doing a pretty good job getting right back in after a short period. Vikings, and as soon as they enter the zone, they lose possession immediately. And the Seattle Stingrays trying to get out of their zone. And Kyle Connor with the puck, able to finally get out into the Vikings zone. Vikings struggling to have possession for an extended period of time. Down low behind the net is Matthew Joseph, pass off the boards, but it's intercepted by Matt Dumba. And here's Quinn Hughes, a hit along the boards there, punting along the right wing side. He's able to chip it in the zone, able to go in deep on the Seattle goal line. Gorzak in the trapezoid behind the goal. Wilbur takes it over there with Matthew Joseph. Now in possession of the puck, Wilbur trailing behind him. Joseph, top of the left circle, shot there and a save. Matt Dumba is there as well, takes it right back to the Vikings, 11-10. We're almost halfway through this one. Mike punching in the zone with a shot and a save. Vikings haven't had too many of those. They get one here against Grubauer, but he makes the save. They'll have a whistle with 10:50 remaining in the second period. 13 shots for the Vikings, 28 shots for the Seattle Stingrays. Seattle with more possession time as well over the Vikings. Out the draw is Anders Bjork. Lomberg the drop off. That's empty net. So we have a delay penalty on the way for the Vancouver Vikings. Christian Dvorak going off for interference for Vancouver. So take a look at this. Right off the draw, Dvorak, he was in kicking the face off. He shoved his opponent, direct opponent, down to the ground after the face off. So he's going to the box for interference. And the Seattle Stingrays going to the power play. 10:31 to go in the second. At the face-off, it's Connor Clifford with a shot there, and a save. Bohorvac able to get control and dump it all the way down the ice. Knocked down by Smith with his stick only. Sims go back the other way into the Vikings zone. And Kessler and Gallagher still got it back with a shot, save with the pad there by Jake Ottinger, and that one's cleared all the way down the ice. It'll go. Smith able to knock it down once more. Seattle in the zone. Brendan Gallagher, the drop off. Connor Clifton picks up right where he left off. Joseph with the backhand and a save. Jake Ottinger holding on for the whistle. 1 minute 26 seconds left on the Stingrays power play. Glad to have you tuning in. On a Sunday night hockey game, second of a doubleheader. Earlier we covered the Denver Dragons and the Calgary Cougars. The Denver Dragons defeating the Calgary Cougars by a final score. What was it? I'm trying to remember the final score now. Denver Dragons. There's Kyle Connor able to get it over the blue line, able to move on in. Goes right to the front with a shot there and a save. The Denver Dragons defeating the Calgary Cougars by a final score of 3-0. And Branson knocked off by Will Burrows. Let's see how they're keeping the offensive zone. Slap shot there and a save. Connor behind the net. Back out in front. Brock Nelson, a shot. And it trickles in. They score! Brock Nelson in close quarters puts one through. And the Stingrays take a 2-1 lead here in the second. Some really good patience by the Seattle Stingrays. Really good passing throughout this extended session in the offensive zone. And they just keep cracking, keep trying, keep going. They keep trying to crack the code, and they finally crack the code against Jake Ottinger and take a 2-1 lead over the Vikings here at Stingray Center. 2-1 Seattle. NHL 94 is their goal song. So there you go, that's kind of cool. Face off on by the Stingrays. Owen Power, the defenseman, on that top D pairing for the Stingrays. Moved in the offensive zone before he lost control. There's our great Denisenko, Bo Horvat. And good job by Matthew Pekka to knock it away. Right to the front, Matt. What was that? Capo Caco. I must have Matt Nieto. That was the wrong guy, wrong team. Marco Scandell, top of the right circle, able to grip it and rip it, but it was blocked in front. Man, that's gonna hurt. Marco with a shot there and a save. Now, it was pucked there on the corner, skipped it by the defenseman, Owen Power on that top D pairing. Here's Sam Martin, the forward for the Stingrays, with some speed. The passing line, Costin, and the shot was blocked. Here come the Vikings the other way. It is Capo Caco. They trail 2-1 with 7:08 to go. What a save by Philip Grubauer! He got into a sitting position and then hit the inside of his left pad. Here's Smith over the top of the circle. Jake Blair with a shot before being knocked off the puck. And a save there by Jake Ottinger. And here comes Michael Bunting to the right for the Vancouver Vikings into the zone. It's going to be dumped in, goes in deep. Connor Clifton there. On the far side is Quinn Costin moving on into the offensive zone. It's turned over by Michael Bunting. Here is Quinn Hughes once again for the Vikings as they go back into the Seattle zone. Good poke check there, but Malkin gets it right back. Between the circles, a shot there in the save. Matthew Pekka, sorry, gets it over the line. Slap shot and a save at the high slot. A slap shot in the high slot, and then a save. And in the offensive zone, the other way is the Vikings shot there in the glove save. Philip Grubauer with the glove of his left hand. There is a glove of his left hand there. Matthew Joseph. Oh. Matthew Joseph. Oh yeah, he got hit in the ankle, and he's still on the bench, but they're watching that ankle because they got hit with the puck and then it bounced up high earlier in the game. Matthew Peck against Evgeny Malkin. Vikings able to win that. Holmberg back check heavily. Kerbadaka against control for the Vikings in the zone. Good passing line to Malkin. Malkin the back end back to Doc with a shot and a nice save. Really good setup by the Vikings there offensively. Back up high is Harris. Jordan Harris over to Eric Branson. Turnover Ryan Holmberg going the other way. He's got a bit of speed, but he doesn't have any passing lanes. It's an easy turnover there for Harris. Seattle changing lines. Vancouver. Oh, a hit behind the play. Here's Kerbadaka over the line. He's knocked out the puck there, and it's scooped up by Sam Steele. Steele back on the wall, able to kick it over his teammate Jordan Harris, finding Eric Branson on the back end, feeding Michael Bunting. Another hit behind the play. Kako in the middle. Shoots in the save of the pad. Philip Grubauer holding up for the whistle with 2:47 remaining in period number 2. So Brock Nelson facing Bo Horvat. Still 20 minutes to go after this one. Seattle leading 2-1 at the Stingrays Center. Final game of the night, by the way. Every game, there's no night games here on a Sunday night. Tomorrow there will also be a lot of games, so the game's starting, I believe, at 4:35, and they're going to go all the way to like 1 a.m. And then we'll pick, I think we're going to cover an earlier game. We'll be covering Louisville and Orlando tomorrow. Shot there in a save. Grubauer holds on, so we'll have another whistle to Grubauer's right. So a big hit on Gregory Denisenko earlier. I didn't even see it. I don't think the broadcast caught it, but his helmet came off. I didn't notice it in the moment because I only see the same thing you see on the TV or on your mobile streaming device, like your phone or your tablet or iPad. Shot there blocked. That one scooped up by Michael Kessering, able to be touched over to Gregory Denisenko. Stick out in the offensive zone, but he lost it. Nelson takes over. He's knocked off. And here's Korzak. The Stingrays. Korzak took a hit after he passed the puck. Shot there on the backhand in front, and a save by Jake Cottinger in the Vikings zone. Wilbur is facing Christian Dvorak. 39.5 seconds remaining. On the face-off one, it is Quinn Hughes. Alexi Lafreniere. Obviously, Lafreniere out for a week for the Vancouver Vikings. Final seconds of period 2. Matthew Joseph for the Stingrays moving on in. And lost puck. So, yeah, Alexi Lafreniere out for the Vikings. And final seconds taken away, and that will end period 2. So, period 2 in the books. The Seattle Stingrays take a 2-1 lead, and oh, what a save from Philip Grubauer here on the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Alright, you are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. This is the Intermission Show. Alright, hello and welcome. Second intermission, Seattle Stingrays. We take a 2-1 lead over the Vancouver Vikings. We still have 20 minutes to play, but I do want to talk about that Philip Grubauer save. That was incredible. So, yeah, great save, which, yeah, he was forced to do a position where it was like almost like a V-sit. And then there was a shot and it went off of his left pad. He only had maybe a second or two, yeah, not even 2 seconds to even get into that shape, but he just did it. The speed, despite, you know, all the goalie gear you have on, he still did it. He got into it. He made the save. Well, he made it look effortless. It was impressive. Impressive save from Philip Grubauer. And he kept the game tied at 1. Then later, And Brock Nelson able to squeak one home. Stingrays lead 2-1. So really good job. So Stingrays doing pretty good. The main thing is that's a slim lead. What they gotta do going into the third is they gotta hold on to the lead. They are 1 for 2 on the power play. I believe that Brock Nelson goal was on the main advantage. So the Stingrays just need to lock it down. Maybe not just lock it down, but they need to get some insurance goals, and then they lock it down and run the clock out. Vancouver, on the Vancouver side, what they need to do, they need to get more possession of the puck. That's been their main issue in this game. Puck possession. They don't have it for long enough to get much going. Their only goal was a bit of their only goal was a lucky bounce, and you can't rely on lucky bounces in the sport of hockey. So something's got to change there if the Vikings want to win. So that's your intermission. We go to period number 3. The Vikings and Stingrays here in Stingray Center in Seattle. I'm Thomas Rose. Glad to have you tuning in. You're listening to the SIHL TV and the radio network. Hello and welcome. Period 3. The Stingrays and the Vancouver Vikings. Wilbur Rose and the beginning Malkin. There's no power out the faceoff. Stingrays won the faceoff to start period 3. Final 20 minutes. Away a shot there, quick to the net. And Ottinger the save to start period 3. Quite a fast start to this third period for the Seattle Stingrays. Already with a 2-1 lead. On the face-off win, slap shot for the up high, well, up top, and then went over top of the net. Michael bunting out to center ice and over the blue line for the Vancouver Vikings into the Seattle zone. Quinn Hughes has it, but he turns it over to Owen Power by accident. And Owen Power up the ice. Quinn Hughes tried to poke it away, but unable to do so. Kirby Doc turning it over for the Vikings, and he'll go the other way, but he can't hold on to possession either, as Burroughs has it again, back towards the Vikings end. The pass over, intercepted. Kyle Connor has it, spins around. Good feed on Power with a shot instead of the blocker by Jake Ottinger. And he ends up in the hands of his teammates, Quinn Hughes. Oh, when I say it, but Quinn Hughes retreats it after the handoff that didn't go too well for the Vikings. Home Power gets it right back. Here's Simon. A bit of back and forth here in terms of puck possession in this one. You can see Al struggling a bit. Iron comes right on in, but that chance was shut down immediately. But now this crowd's fired up for the Stingrays. Vikings going in, shot there, and a glove save, Philip Grubauer. So, oh yeah, big hit from Will Burroughs on the Vancouver Viking. Some big hits in this game. That's part of hockey. Love the big hits. On the face-off win for the Vancouver Vikings. They win in the offensive zone. It is Capo down low, back up high to Michael Kesselring, able to rip one, tipped in front, but the save there by Philip Grubauer. That shot, I don't even call it a shot, it was the puck rang the iron before going out of the zone. Gallagher over to Nick Leddy, right in the middle on the backhand, but he missed the net wide. Gallagher there, up top. Left it in a slap shot, and a save. Still good cycling by the Stingrays as they have sustained pressure in the offensive zone. Shot there and another save. Goes to the corner, scooped up by Michael Kesselring. Seattle Stingrays, Nelson on the backhand. Kesselring is there as well, and out to center ice for the Vancouver Vikings. Moving right to the front with a shot, and that one missed the net wide, back on the near side. Sam Steele is there as well. Kako behind the goal. Brock Nelson over to Connor Clifton. Clifton for the Seattle Stingrays. It's jumped in the zone, able to go in deep. Marco Scandella is there and able to find Tyler Mott. Cross ice on the far side. From Costin for the Seattle Stingrays. Down low in the corner, battling along the wall. Tyler Mott is there as well, over to Christian Dvorak. Top of the right circle. Dvorak is there, finding Clint Costin. And a draw pass over to Chase DeLeo. Top of the left circle, but it's turned over immediately. The Branson there. Christian Dvorak beating Tyler Mott. Two Vikings and two Stingrays. Oh, he did it again! Philip Gruber with a V6. Make another nice save. Five shot. And a save, Philip Grubauer. Grubauer. He's showing the world what he can do. Miscommunication. The puck goes out to center. Giselayo right in the circle. Costin able to go over the blue line, but it's poked away. Giselayo recovers it for him as a backup, but it's poked back out to center. 11:25 to go in the third. Seattle still leading 2-1. Cross ice for Sam Martin as the Stingrays try to maintain possession. But they do not succeed at that as the Vikings have it again. Seth Griffith. Top of the circle right there. Shot and a score! Joshua Roy, his second goal here this season. Right in the bottom of the right circle. Off the feed from Seth Griffin, and he just rests one in. He has a really good angle on the shots. Really good placement by the Vikings here. A bit of communication which they've struggled to get working because it always got intercepted by the Stingrays defense. Finally, they're able to get one through in the game, and it ties the game at 2 here in the third period. So this is going to set up for an interesting finish. If we get tied at 2, we got 10 minutes left in the third period. Play penalty on the way against the Vancouver Vikings. Seattle has in the offensive zone. Slap shot there. I saw an opening for a one-timer, but that option was not chosen. Martin again. Connor. Wrist one. Let's say Jake Ottinger. Penalty on the way. So, interference. Boveros and Krishna Borak. On the face-off win, Owen Power with the shot there, save. That one poked away to the near side off the face-off. Kyle Connor down low on the back end. In the Vikings zone. Slap shot off the iron. Kyle Connor there. Sam Martin over to Owen Power. Top of the left circle. Moving it right in the spot. And broken up by the Vancouver Vikings. It was Bo Horvat. There's Brock Nelson there as well. Quinn Hughes is there. Kyle Connor right in front of the shot. Oh, nice glove save. Jack Ottinger holding on for the whistle. Sam Steele, Joshua Roy for the face-off in the Vancouver Vikings zone. Sam Steele, Joshua Roy on the face-off win. Marco Scandella able to find Alex Lothario. Glove down by Smith, but that's offside. And we'll have a face-off just outside the blue line. Sam Steele taking the draw against Joshua Roy. Sam Steele, Joseph, and Gallagher on the offensive line for that power play line for the Seattle Stingrays. 1:20 on the power play. We're right back underway. Clifton able to move on. And in the far right in the front, he scores! Connor Clifton! First goal for the Stingrays this season, and it comes on the power play. Seattle takes a 3-2 lead. Right in front of the net. And off of the goaltender, Jake Ottinger. You did a good job deking out to the defenseman. Back end line, right to the front. What a beauty. And Seattle leads it 3-2. Here in the latter half of the third period. Connor Clifton, Smith, and Sam Steele the assists. Gonna go over the line on the far side for the Vancouver Vikings. After that, Stingrays goal, easy. And Grubauer holds on for the whistle. The PA announcer's really happy with it. He was enjoying himself with that call. Brock Nelson, Bo Horvat at the faceoff. Vikings win the offensive zone. Nick Leddy off the draw, and the Stingrays take it back out to center ice. Over the blue line, able to move on in, but it's lost there. Bo Horvat over to Marco Scandella, finding Gregory Denisenko there. Bo Horvat in the middle. And trying to find a lot of Vikings. They were bunched up for a moment there, but it goes out to center, and the Vikings will have to regroup. 8:03 to go in the third period. And the pass over there to Gregory Denisenko, finding Bo Horvat on the near side. That one skipped up by Sam Steele. Gallagher tried to spin around, but he was knocked down. He was hit from behind. Oh, what a hit from Marco Scandella. And then he's hit himself Not as hard there. Nicoletti back the other way. Nicoletti gaining speed for the Stingrays in the zone. It's turned over for Malkin, and Kesselring gets back out for the Vancouver Vikings. Over the blue line, Michael Bunting. Top shot, save of the pad there. Here's Van Martin. Long pass over to Kyle Connor. Connor in the zone to the front. Shot there, missed the net wide. Kyle Connor. Oh, what a pass! And a save, Jake Ottinger. What a pass to go right into Gretzky's office. But Ottinger steps up to the challenge. Roberts against Evgeny Malkin for the face-off. To Ottinger's right. Off the draw, the Stingrays run the offensive zone with a shot and a glove save. Jake Ottinger holding on for the whistle. I'm really starting to get in the rhythm of hockey now. Really starting. It's like bread and butter. Roberts. Taking the face-off of the Seattle Stingrays and Evgeny Malkin. And the Vikings win it in their own zone. Over to Michael Bunting there, a hit behind the play. Gerberdock on the near side. That one taken away by Kyle Connor and the Stingrays. Third down offside. That's going to be an icing. 5:35 to go in period 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you can see. Watch. There was a big hit there. They were showing on the TV. You can't see it. I didn't see the name, so it's Roberts and Evgeny Malkin once again. And Malkin wins it for the Vikings in the offensive zone. Shot there, glove save, and we'll do it all over again. 5:26 remaining in the third. Really starting to get the rhythm of the broadcast. Off the face-off win there to Quinn Hughes. Martin takes it away for the Seattle Stingrays. And he's able to get a bit of room there. But it's being closed down quickly by Quinn Hughes. And Burrows right in the slot with a shot and an easy save there. Martin trapped, but he's able to knock down Quinn Hughes. But he loses the puck in the process. Malkin takes it over, but he's pinned against the wall. And Vancouver trying to regroup, gain the puck in their own end. Quinn Hughes got hit and he lost his helmet. He's fine, the play still getting up. Malkin going the other way down the ice. They don't want to lose Quinn Hughes. That would not be good for the Vancouver Vikings. I believe it's fine. Try there on a save at the back end of Evgeny Malkin. Gerberdock the other way. 3:43 to go. On the back end, Michael Bunting. Glove save there. Turn. Try Owen Power. Sam Martin. Top of the left circle, trying to do a pass. Bill Horvat blocked it. 3:05 to go in regulation. 50 shots for the Stingrays. S50. Just 28 for the Vancouver Vikings. Yet Seattle only leads 3-2. Sam Martin in the offensive zone. And the Vikings just take control of it. Bill Horvat the other way. And his backhand. Horvat. Didn't do much there. Eric Cabrera with a shot there and a save. Justin takes it back out with Will Burrows. Will Burrows. Poked away by Jordan Harris. He was kind of way ahead of everybody and lost the puck as the Vikings get right back in the zone. Jordan Harris. Intercepted Brock Nelson. Nelson. Running out of space. And able to get the puck over to Gallagher.